Because I made this remark earlier that I don't think that a lot of Democrats understand the idea behind cause and effect. We have a lot of hysteria. There's a lot of fear-mongering going on about August 2nd. Now, granted, no one wants us to default on our financial obligations, but don't you think that this hysteria would have better served the cause had these same people been hysterical when Senate Democrats didn't produce a budget 2 years ago, or when the president passed the stimulus, which didn't do anything to create jobs, but yet frittered away $1 trillion?
Well, I do, and there's no question about it. With the so-called stimulus package, another $1 trillion. I heard Senator McCaskill saying just yesterday that people voted for these bills, and now they don't want to pay them. I haven't voted for any spending bill in almost 3 years because they've all been unreasonable. They've all been outside of what we could afford to pay for. And they produce bad results. And, the other cause and effect, they also don't understand in the economy the risk-reward element of capitalism, where if you don't encourage people to take risk, they don't take risk. And if people don't take risk, they don't create opportunity. And the federal government can't create private sector jobs, but it can do a lot to encourage that by just creating certainty and appreciation for the fact that job creators take a chance to lose their money when they go out and do that. And so there are some fundamental laws of the economy and of human nature that I think the president is now having to live with the results of.
Right.
Private sector job creation should be the number one target, getting spending under control right there along with it. And domestically, those are the two things that we ought to be focused on right now.
And one of the things that helps job creation is making sure that the job creators have enough resources, i.e. capital, with which to invest in the private sector and kickstart some of this. But the president has said, and a lot of the Democratic leadership has said that, no, this isn't there. It's sort of a non-starter for them. When the president discussed having both sides meet with him on Thursday and said, please leave your demands at the door, obviously he's referencing tax cuts. Do you think that there's going to be any way, I hope not, that Republicans would go against what Americans are polling in terms of they don't want to see taxes go up? Are Republicans going to hold fast to that?
Well, what we need to increase revenue are more taxpayers, and you don't get more taxpayers by discouraging people from creating, again, risk and opportunity.
Right.
I'm not going to be in that room. I've spent a lot of time in rooms like that over the years and as one of the leaders in the House. And the truth is that the bigger the room gets, the less likely anything's going to get done.
Right.
There's a lot of concern that the former Speaker of the House will be in that room, who will have a very different view of this, I hope, than the current Speaker of the House. I'm sure than the current Speaker of the House. And so I imagine this is just a meeting to prove that there was a reason that everybody had to be compared last week to his daughters getting their homework done.
Yes, that was very condescending.
It was not the way to get things done.
Well, and again, we wouldn't even be having these discussions if his party had gotten their homework done 2 years ago.
Well, it's been 800 days. It was 798 days since the Senate of the United States passed a budget the last time.
Right. I have to ask you this, too. Senator Cornyn said that there's a possibility that Republicans might strike a mini deal with the administration on the debt limit. Can you give me some insight into this?
No, I really can't. I don't know what Senator Cornyn was thinking there. I don't think that we need to do this over and over again. And if that's what he meant, and he may have meant looking at some things in the tax code, but again, I just heard Charles Krauthammer talk about this in the last day or two, how the accelerated depreciation for corporate jets, which, by the way, are built by somebody who works by the hour, it would take 700 years or something to make up for 1 year of the Obama deficits. 700 years of eliminating that deduction. The problem is that the president doesn't have a plan, and apparently has no plan to have a plan. But maybe we'll be surprised at the end of the week. I'll be very surprised at the end of the week if they walk out of that meeting with a plan. The president has been late to engage and late to understand that some things are not going to happen, like tax increases. If he'd wanted to increase taxes, Dana, he should have done it the 2 years that he had huge majorities in the House and Senate. Part of that time he had 60 senators. All that time he had 59 senators, and they couldn't raise taxes then. I can't even begin to wonder why he thinks he could raise taxes now, when I believe, and most economists would agree, that raising taxes will in this kind of economic environment is not the right time. I mean, unemployment is 17% higher than when the president took office.
Exactly.
Health insurance premiums.
Right. It's not supported by historical precedents. Senator Roy Blunt, we're up against a hard break, and I appreciate you.
What you do every day.
Thanks so much. Take care.